Hello everyone, just a quick update before I get to the review. Brony Takes Manhattan is halfway done. Still working out the kinks of Adobe Premiere Elements 12, but I assure you it will be done. My goal is to get it done before episode 13, which if you've seen the synopsis for that episode, you know why I would want to go possibly back-to-back with those. So, there you have it. The collab is almost done, and now, onto the review. Hello everypony, and welcome back to My Little Pony What Works. Today, Corey Powell returns to the helm as she takes on Rainbow Falls. Quite possibly the worst episode of Season 4 so far. Okay, which story arc are we taking on today? Well, Castle Restoration isn't mentioned, so we have the Equestria Games and the Mystery Box today. Cool. Now, let's have a look at our competitors for the Air Relay Race for Ponyville. Rainbow Dash, of course. Fluttershy, okay, maybe she has more confidence in her this time. And Bulk Biceps, who for some reason has trouble getting off the ground despite previous episodes not having a problem. Yeah, we'll address that in a few minutes. Once the Ponyville competitors arrive, as well as meet up with the Wonderbolts competing for Cloudsdale, Sora manages to injure his wing in practice, and the Wonderbolts ask Rainbow Dash if she wants to join Cloudsdale team, thus testing her true loyalties. Oh wait, did I say ask? I meant manipulate. Let's dive into this episode's main problem, the story. This setup is so freaking contrived, it's not even funny. First off, out of all the Pegasi that live in Ponyville, why the hell would you pick Bulk Biceps and Fluttershy to do the relay race? What, is Thunderlane, Blossom Forth, Cloud Chaser, and Flitter not available?
Sorry we couldn't fly with you on the aerial relay, but the air sprinters needed us too.
Too bad we can only compete in one event.
Bullshit. Track runners and Olympic swimmers aren't allowed to qualify for multiple events. But no, we have to follow the stupid rules of the episode, so Rainbow Dash is stuck with the dregs. No offense. Speaking of getting stuck with the dregs, dear God, the continuity is all over the place. Corey Powell's biggest problem with her writing is the story. In Sleepless in Ponyville, her big issue was dialogue and story structure. And just for sidekicks, it was writing the backup story, which should have aired second. Here, it's continuity. 1/3 of the time she actually remembers continuity, like with Rainbow Dash being recognized as an amazing flyer, or the Wonderbolts remembering she was awesome at the Academy. The other 2/3? Continuity? What's that? Why is Bulk Biceps struggling to fly when in Hurricane Fluttershy and Wonderbolts Academy he flew just fine? Why are the Wonderbolts acting like complete assholes despite them being respectful towards Dash in the past? And finally, the characters. What the hell happened? Applejack, Rarity, Fluttershy, and Pinkie Pie are flanderized beyond belief. Bulk Biceps is out of character because the plot says so, and then there's the Wonderbolts. You have got to be kidding me. The Wonderbolts in this episode, more specifically Fleetfoot and Spitfire, were overwhelmingly villainized. Manipulating Rainbow to join the winning team was incredibly forced. Honestly, with a change in dialogue during the first scene, the situation would have been more believable. Surrey Polemare taking advantage of Rarity was more natural and realistic than what happened with the Wonderbolts manipulating Rainbow Dash. Not only that, but they lied to their own teammate that he might not heal in time for the trials while he, in fact, was fine enough to compete. How do the writers continue to show the Wonderbolts aren't all that they're cracked up to be? The only ponies who were close to being in character were Rainbow Dash and Twilight. Twilight, while failing to take in the festivities properly, still acted as a middle ground, which I pointed out in my Pinkie Apple Pie review with Dr. Wolf I liked. I also think Rainbow Dash's motivations in this episode were believable, and she does remember her lesson from Wonderbolts Academy. But how the character development was executed was incredibly blunt. Ugh, let's just move on to the technicals. Guess what? Outside of the setting, the technicals were unimpressive. Rainbow Falls looks beautiful, and something is always happening in the background. The music, on the other hand, well, let me put it like this. The show reuses a lot of music tracks in multiple episodes. That's normal. But when specific tracks from Wonderbolts Academy get reused, you start to turn your head. Or when the music wants to make you feel a certain way, for example, something sinister is about to happen when Fleetfoot is talking, it feels incredibly contrived. Entertaining my flank! I have never seen such a failed attempt at humor in the show since Owl's Well That Ends Well. The slapstick and written lines just fail miserably, primarily because the jokes feel forced and at times come across as stupid. Rarity's uniforms, anyone? Hell, the episode doesn't even become investing until the qualifying race. And when Derby Who showing up and showing Griffins in the background were the highlights of the episode, something went very wrong. This episode has to have the weakest moral of the entire series. Friends are more important than winning? No shit, Sherlock! And what a way to display Rainbow Dash's key, with a forced setup and a half-ass written moral. Thank you, Miss Powell. Okay, time for a recap. The story has a forced setup and creates continuity problems everywhere. Characters are flanderized, villainized, or out of character. The setting looks beautiful, but the music score was lackluster. It failed to create a laugh or capture investment, and has the weakest written moral of the entire series. As a result, Rainbow Falls gets half a star out of 4. This was abysmal. Never have I gotten this angry over an episode since Spike at Your Service. But what frustrates me even more is this episode had a great premise and it just fell flat on its face. Hold on. Semi-interesting plot that fell flat on its face. Yes. Complete character 180s. Yes. Disregard of continuity. Unbelievably yes. Moral having to be told to the character who was too stupid to figure it out. No. This was so close to hitting all 4 points of the bad MLP episode checklist. You know what? Fuck it. This episode managed to be worse than Spike at Your Service. It has now become my 3rd worst episode of the entire show. Next time, it's Three's a Crowd. Hey, it's got Discord in it, so at least it will be entertaining. I'm the voice of reason, and fuck this episode!